Hello everyone, my name is Elijah Magana and this is my personal narrative video. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a first generation American, son of immigrants who arrived to this country in the 1960s. In my early years I grew up in the cities of La Puente and El Monte here in California, where I attended elementary school and my first year of junior high school. We would later move to Fontana, California, where I would resume and finish my junior high and high school years. We lived on a 3-acre ranch where I learned early on the meaning of hard work. I would wake up at 3:30 every morning to do the few chores that I had on the ranch before making the 2-mile walk to high school each day. Without going into too much detail, I suffered a great deal growing up. I experienced some physical and mental abuse at the hands of my father. My parents would eventually divorce, and I would stick by my mother's side from there on. I never gave up on school and crawled my way through various colleges, attending classes at night. There was always a persistent voice in my subconscious that would keep shouting in my ear to pursue my education, a voice that I still hear and follow to this day. Thinking back to the teachers of my youth, only two come to mind that had a significant impact in my life. The first was Miss Fontes, my fourth grade teacher in elementary school during my years in the city of El Monte. She had a tradition every year where she and her aide would pay you a home visit to personally inform your parents of your progress in school. It was pretty nerve-wracking to say the least. But this important event in my life demonstrated to me that Miss Fontes had this great love for her students. She would sacrifice her own time on the weekends to personally reach out, visit parents and their students in their homes, and communicate face to face with the families. That is unheard of these days, and this is the reason why Miss Fontes has a special place in my heart. The next inductee in my personal teacher hall of fame is Mr. Anderson, my math teacher from my junior high school years in Fontana, California. This man had an uncanny approach to instruction in the classroom. Mathematics were traumatic for me as my brain would scramble like eggs at the sight of numbers. I lacked the ability to mentally interpret simple arithmetic problems, and numbers would just materialize into Egyptian hieroglyphics in my mind's eye. Mr. Anderson had enough sense to identify this deficiency in other students. This great man, through his genius, was my guide in this mental labyrinth of numbers and how we navigate these stormy waters. This is the reason that this man also has a special place in my heart. Why do I want to be an educator? A strong desire to give something back to students is why I want to be a teacher. Without the exceptional teachers that destiny placed in my crossroads, I'm certain that my vicissitudes in school and life in general would have protracted exponentially. In hindsight, I have examined to some extent the strengths of my teachers and have mentally pieced together their best attributes. This, for lack of a better description, has been a perpetually evolving Frankenstein, so to speak, that mirrors the best elements of educators and rejects the worst. It's my own personal creation or mental creation. In my humble opinion, teachers are the catalyst that a great education system requires, steering her into an unceasing metamorphosis of knowledge for the greater good. I too want to be a catalyst for the greater good and contribute my part to students and community before I retire from this earth. This quarter, I've learned that success without discipline and consistency is unattainable. I must stay hungry and fight like hell for what I want. I must wrestle at night through fatigue and continue studying. I have learned to accept failure, learn from it, and use it as a vehicle for progress and growth. I've learned to be vigilant when opportunity knocks and to seize it because opportunities are scarce. I've learned to acknowledge fear but not allow it to immobilize me, and stare it in the face with courage because I'm a warrior. I have placed fear in the rearview mirror, and as I travel along this bumpy road, fear slowly sinks into obscurity and its vestiges slowly fade away in the distance as I travel along my road. I have learned that everyone has myriad problems, countless issues, and internal struggles that they deal with from day to day, especially after going through the activity with you last week, Professor Kelly. I've learned that appearances are truly a veil worn to disguise our injured souls. It would be difficult for me to indulge in self pity and play the part of a victim, knowing that there are people who have experienced far worse than I. Um, and that's what I have learned and taken in this quarter. I hope that you've enjoyed this personal narrative of mine. This is Elijah Magana saying good night.